Hello and welcome back to my craft room. You might remember a little while ago I had my first go at using wax seals, and this is how that's how they turned out. I was really pleased with them. I used some products which are sent to me by a company based in mainland China called paintsomeway.com. Paintsomeway.com. I'll leave a link in the description box if you want to check them out. And they recently said, would I like to try some more products? So I said, yeah, send me some more. Send me some more of these wax seals to try, please, because I've got a few other things I want to try. So let me go to the desk. This was what they sent me last time. I've taken the kind of foam and everything out the box, the gift box that these all came in, so I could fit everything in. This was the gold pen I used to get this effect, and that's what I wanted to come back and show you today, because I didn't do a very good job of it last time, and then I did this again after I'd finished filming. Went and found a fatter pen, so I thought I'd just show you today how that works, because it was really fun to do. So that was my own. Last time they sent me this little thing, they call it a furnace, which is a bit over the top to call it a furnace, but it's like this little kind of what would you call it, a little stove thing that's designed to fit over the top of a night light like this. So these two night lights came in the kit. This one came in the kit. This pretty little jar of pellets. These came as a set. I had these two extra bags of pellets, and that stirry stick thing came from a set that Johnny sent me once. That's the seal that came in the kit. I need to bring you down a little bit, don't I? And then this is the extra one they sent me before, which is what you can see there. So what I did was take all the foam out of the box so I can store all of my wax seal bits and pieces can all go in there together now. So this time, what I asked for, I haven't taken these out of the pack yet. They all came in one of those big, the standard grey bags that all these kind of companies seem to send things out in. The only thing that was separately boxed was this, which is another one of these. Didn't really need another handle, but quite liked the look of it, because you can just unscrew the little seals and change them over. So I've got this snowflake one, which I thought would be really cute to seal Christmas gifts with. That's what I'm thinking, of Christmas cards. Maybe not even use tape at all this year, just use string and wax seals. I think that would be really nice. It look cool, and it's a bit more environmentally friendly, at least I'm telling myself it is. This is the thing I don't like about what I've had from them, is the amount of plastic that's involved. I guess they've got to put them in something, but I don't see why it couldn't just be a bit of paper or something around it. Why it's got to be plastic, I don't know. Lovely quality, these. You can see how accurately, there we go, that's finally focused. You can see what nice quality it is from that. So this thing is like a ring mould, and you can get them in different shapes, like flower shapes and kind of wobbly shapes and squares and all sorts, so that if you want to get a nice uniform edge on your seal, you just pour it into here, fill it into there and stamp it, and that keeps it all nice. And if I get on well with this, I might get some other shape ones. Well, I'm just going to get rid of all this plastic in a minute. I'm thinking this is only going to be a quick video. I just wanted to show you, because I think when I did the last one I said I'd come back and show you better how to do this. It was just my first go. I sort of opened the parcel and had a quick go, and didn't do the most fabulous job of it. I don't need to keep that either. I'm going to recycling. Okay, so we're left with this, and all of this will now fit inside this box to store it. I do want to get some more pellets, and it seems to be cheaper to get the pellets in a big box of assorted colours or something, and you can probably just get them through Amazon or whatever. I just need to buy a bigger amount to be more economical. I also found this old set I'd forgotten I had. I've clearly used it like once or twice. I got it years ago, but I think you can still get these. I think what I didn't like at the time is because the wick burns kind of black like that, it made like a black smutty mark across my seal, which I guess doesn't matter, but anyway, I thought I would try using this wax as well, and the little seal. Try them out, might as well use them. In fact, let's get rid of that plastic as well now. It says mailable wax on that packaging. I mean, does that mean other wax that isn't mailable? Does it mean it will stay stuck and the other kind will come? I've no idea what that means. If you've got any idea, let me know. So I don't think I'll do this by lighting it and dripping it like that, because the other thing about, apart from the black smutty marks I remember now getting, is that you sort of light it and then you wait for it to drip. And you wait for it to drip, and you're trying to get it to drip in the right place. And by the time you've got another drip, the first drip has started to set. I just found it all a bit hit and miss. Whereas with this, you drop a few pellets in there, you've lit the night light, and you can just leave it sat there to warm up. Or if you haven't got one of these, you can just hold it over like that. But it's quite nice to just leave it while you're busy doing something else. So I'm going to keep this now in this box so I can use that up, and I think that would look lovely with the gold against it for Christmas, wouldn't it? Pattern on this one that I've had, this donkey's years old one. Well, you can see it's left a bit of the wax in the metal there. Now I didn't find that happened at all with these. Just came away really cleanly. Yes, I showed you this one with the star. I think that's going to be beautiful. I think that's going to be my favourite. And then this one's little daisies. You know, I love my daisies. Need to go and get another couple of night lights to keep in the box too. Doesn't take long to melt the wax. Let's try a bit of green first. And I found before that I think 3 of these pellets was plenty, but this is quite big, this mould, isn't it? It's bigger than I've done there. Shall I start with 4 and see how that goes? And what I found I needed to do, that's why I had the little stirring stick out. I just thought it was pretty. I just thought it went really nicely with these. Is that once it started to melt a bit, I just stirred it around a bit. You know, a bit like when you're melting chocolate, kind of like that. There, it's already melting there. What I've got left in there from last time. I think there was a little bit of the blue from in here is in the bottom of this, but I'm not going to worry about that. If it marbles a bit, I think that would look pretty anyway. So got some scraps of card to practice on. So this is where it's nice, but to just leave that melting while I'm faffing around here. Let's try this one with the star that I think is going to look so pretty, and that will fit nicely in there, won't it? Oh, there's something very satisfying about stirring this gloopy wax as it melts. Let's wait for it all to be completely melted. We don't want any unmelted lumps in there. I've seen people seem to be able to do some very clever things with these, like make multicolour ones and just get a certain colour wax in a very specific area of the seal. I've no idea how they do that. Don't think I'm probably going to be finding out, to be honest. I love the pearly kind of iridescent look of that. Okay, I'm gonna maybe pour all of this in. I don't know. Looks like it. And even then, that doesn't look like it's going to be enough to fill it. Right, and now I'm just going to press down, try and get, if I could get my head over it, because I wasn't trying to film, I'd make sure this is really, really central. Oh, I feel like maybe I left that a bit too long. I don't know. Yeah, I haven't filled this enough. Yeah, hasn't gone anywhere near the edges. It's going to take practice, that's fair enough. It hasn't made room for the whole design, so nothing lost. I think I will be able to, yeah, that's come away quite cleanly. I'm just going to remelt it and add another couple of pellets in. It's going to be a bit of a, oh look, it's gone all, oh, I thought I expected it to snap, but it's more bending than snapping. Okay, let's remelt that and put a couple more pellets in. It's really nice that if you do cock up like I have, you haven't got to waste the wax, you can remelt it. Okay, this time I'm just going to drop it onto the paper like I did before. That bit really is hot. Okay. Okay. And then stamp this down. I need to practice and practice, and I do need to practice off camera so I can get my head over and see what I'm doing properly, but I just leave it to cool for a few seconds. You can see how pretty the design is, and it's picked up all of those details. I've messed up a little bit, but that was user error. I need to practice on the more simple ones probably, but anyway, just to give you an idea of how easy this is to do, I'll practice a few more of these. you just get then you want quite a thick, you know, this is a like a bullet tip, isn't it? But probably a chisel tip would be even better, really. But quite a fat nib, so you don't want a thin nib that's going to go into the pattern. You want one that's going to kind of glide over the top, and then you just go over it with your pen, so it just picks up the design on the surface, and it is so satisfying to do, and it sticks to the wax really well. So this is a pilot permanent. I guess you want something that's going to be a permanent. You don't want like a water soluble one where it won't want to stick to the wax, but any one of those metallic pens that's like a permanent marker. Look how pretty that looks. So if I can kind of perfect the shape a little bit and put that, I don't think it needs to be over perfect either. Perhaps it looks more authentic like that, and then just use that, you know, use scraps of ribbon or string or whatever to wrap my Christmas presents with, and seal it with that instead of using sellotape. How pretty is that? Not just for Christmas either, but... And I love that colour combination of that kind of jade green with the gold. This is another occasion where I've accidentally dressed to match my project. That's the second time I've done that recently. So this, if I could make it melt enough wax to fill this, it actually would be the perfect size. So I'm going to have another go in a minute. I maybe won't make you sit through that. Shall we try one of the other? Let's drop a bit more of the... you can mix the colours as well. Let's try that just to show you. So if I say I wanted... just put a bit of the... Let's put some of the white in. With that green. And I'll do the snowflake. I think the gold will look beautiful against this as well. The other thing I wanted to do that I've seen done, and I don't know if this is the right kind of stuff. I've seen this Aurora film used over the top of the seals. I don't have any of that, but I've got this now. I picked this up for £4 in the works, which is very aware that I've got a hot thing there. Here in the UK, it's like a cheap kind of stationery and crafts and books. And I think some of these will look really... So I think what people do is they put a little piece of this over the seal before they stamp it down, over the blob of wax before they stamp it down, and the heat kind of welds it into the wax. So I'm going to try that. This is more meant for kind of sticking. I think that's a glue stick in there with it. And then there's this one. It's Deco Foil. I think this is a little bit more expensive, but it's still, you get quite a lot. There's 20 pieces in here. I think I've got this on Amazon. And this is meant to use with, if you print on a, not inkjet, a laser printer, and then you can run it through a special machine, but actually I've discovered you can do it with a laminator, cheap laminator. I've got a £10 laminator I've got in the supermarket. I get Tom to print off a black and white print for me on his laser printer. And then if I run them through together, obviously sandwich them between two sheets of paper, the heat from the laminator melts the laser print and fuses it to this gold, so you get whatever you've printed comes up in this beautiful gold. So that's what I've used this for, but I just wonder if it might work with the seals, so I've got that to try as well. Okay, let's leave that swirly. Let's see if we can manage to leave this swirly rather than completely mix it and see what happens. I'm going to do the snowflake this time, so let's have the snowflake ready. What have I done with it? I do love this, the rosewood handle. I think it's called rosewood, and these kind of brass looking things, they just feel lovely. They feel really nice in your hand. Okay, I'm gonna pull that out. Definitely need to practice my technique here. Really all I'm doing here is giving you a little kind of idea of what I'm thinking I can do with this. Okay, let's go in with the snowflake now. Oh, that is pretty. Love that combination with the white with the jade there. There we go. So even if I just left it like that, it's really pretty. But I'm going to do the gold thing again just to show you. Let that cool for a second. Let's see how this comes up with the gold. You just have to be careful not to. That's why you don't want a little thin pen. You don't want to go You just want to pick up that surface pattern. Look, I'm so pleased with that. Is it just me, or is that really, really gorgeous? Okay, I'm going to do one more. I just want to see what this film stuff does. And clearly, normally you would use it like you would use gold leaf, where you put some glue on, let the glue go tacky, press the foil onto it, and it will just pick up where you've drawn with the glue, really. So I don't know if it worked for this, but we'll soon find out. I'll just show you this last thing now, and then I would experiment a bit off camera and come back and because I do need to perfect my technique. So this is this really thin film, like you would use in the same way, I think, as you would use gold leaf. So £4 for that pack was an absolute bargain, wasn't it? So okay, I'm just going to cut a little piece of it off here and just see what happens. It might stick partially or totally or not at all. We'll soon find out. Let's try the flower that came in that other kit this time. That's going to have to do, but it should just at least tell me if the idea is going to work. Okay, so now I'm just letting that cool for just a second. Drop this over it. Press the seal down. Let's keep our fingers crossed. Okay, peel away. Actually, you can see it has just picked up in the same way that you do when you put a toner printed sheet, a laser printed sheet through a laminator or one of those specialist machines, which is much more expensive. So it just takes the foil off. Like, it has done what I hoped it would do. It's just that I really, that is not ideal, but I just need to practice that. Yeah, it seems to have welded itself to the wax in just the same way. So I know that looks really naff, but I'm really pleased because I think it means the basic idea is going to work, which gives me all of these different kinds of films that I can make these cute little seals with. I think I've probably shown you a little snippet of everything I'm going to try. I'm going to, off camera, keep practicing with these, get my head over it so I can get things central and everything. And I'll come back, I'll try a few different combinations and a few of those different kinds of films and all the different seals and colours that I've got. And I'll come back and show you how they look. I'm really excited about this. I'm especially excited about being able to weld that film to it like that. Fantastic. That could be so pretty. Okay. I'll see you again in a moment. I've got to go and make myself stop now and go and cook dinner for my husband. See you in a moment. Okay, me again. It's the next day now. I had a good old play. I did quite a lot more experimenting with these wax seals, and I'm ever so pleased with the results. Some things didn't turn out quite as I hoped, but some things were a pleasant surprise. And before I start, excuse my filthy hands. I'll explain. So here are the results of my experiments. As I say, some went better than others. I've managed to get pretty much everything back into the box. It'll all go in there except for the little stove thing, including the pen that works the best. I did experiment with a couple of other pens. So things that didn't work out so well, I tried the film thing again, using this kind of foiling paper really, and I couldn't make it. But I'll show you. I did this just to show you. Can you see there? You've got that really good, excuse my fingers, I'll explain about the filth on my hands in a minute. I had it perfectly focused. There we go. So you can see the lovely crisp detail you get, and then when you put the film over, it sticks beautifully. That's not going anywhere, and I love the effect that you get with it, except that you lose all that detail. So it put me off doing it. I tried it also with the flower shape, thinking that might work, but it didn't. So I gave up on that one. But what I found was, one interesting thing is that I could just break all this up, including the film that's adhered to it, and melt the whole thing again and use it again, and it just gave some little glints of gold in the next piece that I did. So yeah, that was useful. I don't think you could melt it down, the film as it is, because it's on this kind of plasticky carrier, but once that the bit of film that just adheres itself to the wax is fine, that just remelted. I also tried sprinkling with glitter, so I ended up stirring some glitter into the wax as it melted, and then sprinkling just a little bit of glitter on before I pressed the stamp in. And you can see you get that sort of result. It's very difficult to make shiny things like this focus with this camera, with any camera really. Yeah, and it looks better in real life than it looks there on camera. And the glitter isn't coming off at all where it's been pressed into that hot wax. It's absolutely stays put. It doesn't rub off when you on your fingers or anything, so that's quite good. I tried a couple of different pens, but this one remains definitely the favourite. I did try the Molotow liquid chrome pen, which I love, and I did that one on these two. I did 2 coats to get it looking like this. I don't think the camera's going to do it justice, but you can kind of see there. Really love that effect. I think that's ever so pretty. It's really striking and quite quick and satisfying to do. I think that's what I used on this one as well. I love the contrast of that chrome against that dark kind of wine colour. That was the old stick that I used for that one. I just cut bits off it. I dropped it into the little cup. I ended up mixing them together quite a bit. I got this sort of almost chocolatey colour here, was mixing a bit of yellow in. I mixed this one. I mixed a lot of white and some blue and just 1 pellet of green in for this one. And I just love that colour, and I love the gold against that pale kind of icy blue. I think that's so pretty. Love how it picks all that detail up. I was going to leave more of them plain to show you, but I couldn't stop. There's a snowflake just plain, and that one is probably my best attempt at getting a really uniform round shape using the ring mould. And I think I found that, you know, it just needed more practice, as anything worth doing really. I found that in one of these cups I could melt 4 of these, I think it was 4 of these bigger pellets and 5 of these smaller ones. Fitted really comfortably into the cup and pretty much would fill the ring. And then I just left it for a couple of seconds and then pressed the stamp in as even as I could. And I did manage, as you can see, eventually I got the hang of getting a fairly uniform result. But having said that, I quite like the ones that are a bit off like that. Or even like this one. Perhaps it's more authentic for it to be a bit crooked really. This one is done. It's got that kind of copper colour, but it's like a matte copper colour. Now that was using one of these Spectrum Raw pens, and I was really disappointed, to be honest. I had to really pump this and shake it, and ended up making quite a mess getting it to work again. I mean, I know I've had it a while, but I've hardly used it at all, and there was no kind of shine with it, so that's a bit disappointing. I did use the silver one to do this, I believe. Yeah, this was definitely the favourite. I thought it would be nice to get a white relief, and so I tried that on this one using the Posca paint pen, and then ended up wiping it off because I didn't like the look of it. It just didn't, it beaded up on the wax. It just wouldn't stick in the same way that these kind of permanent marker type ones do. I guess they're oil based, are they? I don't know. Quite like that it's kind of made it stand out a bit more, but I couldn't manage to get that lovely white thing that I thought would be nice. It might be worth me trying different pens, like an oil based permanent white marker. I'm sure I've got one somewhere, because that would be lovely. Imagine that one with white, with a snowflake picked out in white. That would be lovely, wouldn't it? I liked how this is the daisy one just as it is. Detail you get on these is incredible. Look at that. It just picks it up really well, and it never ever sticks at all. This was using that old set that I had, the stamp and the kind of candle type wax, and this is really more like what you think of what I think of anyway, is the authentic kind of wax seal, isn't it? And I love it just like that, actually. I thought that looked nice with the bits picked up in gold, but it didn't really work because there was too much space between the raised areas, so the pen just went into the lower part of the design too much. So in the end I just coloured it all in like that and just thought, well, I'll probably still stick it on a present. So what I'm going to do with these, obviously if I was actually sealing my present or card with it, I'd, you know, say this is where I've got the twine that I've tied the string or whatever I've tied the presents with. I would put the wax seal over there to hold it. And if I was sealing the envelope on a Christmas card, I would just drop it straight on, because they stay stuck really, really well. You know, that's, if you do try and peel it off, it takes a layer of the paper with it. That is stuck. Most of these I did on this stuff. This is these sheets of wax paper. These are the carrier sheets that when I send all my swaps out, things like that, when I've got a lot of things to send out, when I send the whatnot kits out, I buy my postage online. The posties come the next day to pick them up, so it's all free of charge at the moment. And they bring all the labels that you just peel off of this, and they tend to leave me with a whole bundle. I stick all the labels on, and they come back and pick them up later, because I got 20 or 30 going out at a time, you know. So I kept these, because if you try and get hold of this stuff, if you try and buy this waxed sheet like this, it's hard to find sometimes, and it's quite expensive. But if you save it from labels, you know. So what I did was I did all my experimenting on a sheet of this, which worked really well, because it could just take off a sheet. It lies nice and flat, and the wax seal just picks up easily from it. So I could just stick these on with the glue dot or whatever. I wouldn't normally do that, but I might as well. These were just my experiments. I might as well use them. I loved how the clock design comes out when you pick it up in gold. So gorgeous. And that one is fairly typical of it's, you know, it's a bit wonky, but I really quite like that wonkiness. I think that the clock design and the snowflake are probably my favourites. But yeah, this is something that I'm gonna definitely gonna do more of. There's another one that's quite wonky. That was one of the earlier, before I quite got the hang of using the ring mould thing. There we go. But I think they're both perfectly usable as they are. I don't think it needs to be perfect. I'm very pleased with that little experiment. I hope you enjoyed watching that. What do you think? Have you tried doing these wax seals yourself? It's a very old thing, isn't it? People have been doing it for donkey's years, but it's the first time I've properly tried it out, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. I think it's really cute, and I do like the idea of being able to avoid sticky tape at Christmas, because I hate the stuff. Yeah, let me know if you've got any tips and tricks, or if you know any good tutorials to watch. I'd love to know how people do that thing where they do like a 2-colour wax. I can see how you could just drop 2 colours together, or marble 2 colours together, but some people seem to be able to actually pick out parts of the design in a different colour of wax, and I can't for a minute imagine how you do that. But so if you know of any tutorials that show you how to do that, please let me know. Okay, so that's all from me for today. I have got a lot more in the pipeline. I'm going through one of those phases. I think just one was just my life, really. I've got so many ideas and not enough time to do them all. But they'll be coming thick and fast over the next few days and weeks, and in the run up to Christmas, and then going on as well. I've got lots of plans for the new year, so I hope you don't get tired of me, because there's a lot more to come. Thanks very much for joining me today, and I will be seeing you again really soon. Bye.